What's up YouTube? KM888 here, and I'm back again with another Traptrix in-depth deck profile. I went to a regional this weekend and the deck performed really well. Now, if I wouldn't make misplays, this would have gone so much better, but this kind of list is still a bit new to me, so misplays were to be made. It is what it is. But I wanted to introduce you guys this list because there are some new techs in this. And you might want to try them out. So yeah, let's get into the deck profile, I guess. And after this deck profile, I'll also do a small combo so you guys know why I'm running this type of deck list. So yeah, let's put the side deck and the extra deck on the side. First things first, for the Traptrix monsters. The thing that I hated about Traptrix was that it had too many normal summons, so I actually cut down on them even more. You'll see, I'll lay them down first, and then you'll see why. So I'm on one Myrmelio, one Mantis, one Arachnocampa. Let's put them a bit here. One Vesiculo, and one Pudica for the monsters. And that is already it for Traptrix monsters. Only 3 of these are actually normal summons, and to be fair, I want to search them out. I do not want to open them because too many normal summons just isn't great. It's proven in tournaments that if you see too many normal summons, you just auto lose, and I didn't want that. That's also the reason why I cut Dionea, which is crazy, I know, but I put in Vesiculo instead because it can still recur a trap card once, and duels don't take that long anyway, so it doesn't really, you don't miss the Dionea in your grind game at all. But this is a special summon, so if you have if you have a Mantis and a way to trigger Sarah, you can set Holotea, and then Vesiculo itself is 2 additional bodies, so you can special summon it, and then the Holotea banish gives you another body. And just special summoning all the time, using those for link summons is way more valuable than having the one Dionea set up. Yeah, which was actually crazy. The mindset of this Traptrix engine was way different than I used to be running it. The Myrmelio and the Pudica were actually mostly there because they're removal. Myrmelio for spells traps, Pudica for banishing a special summon monster. But in general, this worked wonders. There was only one game during the entire regional, 7 rounds, where I missed having another target in the deck for my Pinguicula to search, but that was also because I opened Pudica, Mantis, and Vesiculo, like in my opening hand. I had 3 of the 5, and so I got rid of all 5 of them in my turn 1 because of that. So I didn't have any follow-up, but normally you don't miss out on having this low amount of Traptrix, and it's actually great because you can keep recurring these with a field spell, with Holotea, so you keep on playing with these while the other cards in your deck actually makes your fields and hands way stronger. So yeah, only 5 monsters, and then to accompany these 5, I also have 5 other Traptrix cards. I have 1 Garden, double Holotea, and double Gravedigger Trap Hole. Might seem weird only to run this low of an amount, but it actually works out wonders. Give it a try. So yeah. Gravedigger, still the best trap hole card in the game. Sometimes I wish I had a Floodgate, but the additional brick just isn't worth it in my eyes. Being able to go with, if you want Rafflesia for a possible negation, you want a second Gravedigger in the deck, so that's the most important thing that you need. But yeah, this actually has been a really great 10-card engine in the deck. And you might say, but how is it even Traptrix? It's the biggest engine in the deck, so it is Traptrix. So yeah. Please don't log off if you're not interested anymore. I can promise you guys this deck plays like Traptrix still. For the rest, my second engine, I'm on triple format skipper still with the 1-for-1. This is just broken. Every time that I opened the format skipper, like half of the time my opponents have to read the card, and then they're like, okay, go ahead. And as soon as they let the first effect go through, they already need 2 hand traps to stop your combo, which is crazy. It just trades so well into a hand trap metagame. And even if they negate it, if you have one extender, you're still off to the races, so it doesn't really matter. Having the 1-for-1 as well is just amazing because you don't need to spend your normal summon. That's just crazy. The only downside of 1-for-1 is you can't play into Shifter with it, which happened twice this tournament for me, but it is what it is. And then to accompany the skippers, we have the triple parallel exceed, of course. It's your main search target for the skipper and is just an amazing card in this build of Traptrix. And then the one brick that you're playing because of all of this is the one Fiendsmith Engraver. I didn't want to include Lacrima just because I would be able to go into Sequence, Desiree. It was just too many cards, and having another brick in the deck just didn't feel right. I already drew the Engraver 4 times in a 7-round tournament, and that on its own is bad enough. But at least if you draw this one, you can summon it from the hand with a Requiem, and you can still do your combo. So I don't need another brick. Like that would just be annoying. So yeah. But this was just amazing. I'll show in the combo. I'll show what I do with the format skipper. Now, I did say I cut a lot of normal summons. I don't like normal summons in this format because everything gets like they get rid of things so easily. And I wanted to include more special summons. I wanted to include a way to recur some stuff, to draw, and I took a little bit of inspiration from the Centurion lists because basically it's the same premise. I play a lot of hand traps and an engine that works pretty well. So I actually went with Triple Lubellion. You might think this is weird, but because I'm also like, I was already playing the 3 Bestials, like the Magnamut, the Baldric, and the Drewsworm. And having the Lubellions, I'll show you guys in the combo why the card is busted. I'm playing it with 1 regained, of course, and getting a draw in your turn, a draw in your opponent's turn, you summon back the Magnamut, get another Surge. That's just crazy. You get so much resources, and because I play a hand trap game often with my opponents, it just works well, and it just adds up how many negates or interruptions you can put down, and that's really important. So yeah. Also, if you go Fiendsmith combo and you have Necroquip, if you have Lubellion, you already get an additional draw because of the Necroquip as well. You can summon, you can search for the Magnamut, which means you get another Baldrake in your end phase, and then if you have regained and they summon, you get Magnamut Baldrake, so you can just use the Baldrake as 2 interruptions, which is actually nice. So yeah. This was the thing where I misplayed the most on, because I didn't got a lot of time to test this. And I misplayed on the regained resummon stuff a couple of times, because I missed my window to summon back and stuff. But I'll learn. And then the rest of the deck is actually just more hand traps and like really easy. Double Nip, double Ogre, double Mourner. These are just crazy, but you don't want to see multiples of these. Against Fire King decks, I wish I saw Nibiru more often. Like, they put out a negate, but I always had answers for the negates, and I just missed the 3rd nip sometimes. So that was actually a thing. Maybe I'll put the 3rd nip in the side or something, but I don't know yet. Triple Ash Blossom, Triple Veiler, Triple Imperm. These are your main ways to stop the opponents, and actually it works out really, really well. So definitely try out. It's together with the Bestials, it's 18 hand traps. It kind of is reminiscent of a Centurion deck. So you have the Centurion deck, which also plays 18 hand traps. They have the Lubellion engine. It's really convenient to win Wars of Nutrition. So yeah. But that's it for the hand traps. And then I am playing 41. The last card of the main deck is a Call by the Grave. I wanted to have 4 answers for the 3 Purulia, the 3 Fualos that my opponent could have. So I I've been full lost game 1, I think 4 times, and I had an out for it 3 times. So that's actually decent. Like I had call by once, and I just had an Ash 2 times as well. The one time that I didn't had the out, I immediately lost that game because I couldn't, like I didn't have the right cards in my hand, but I still won the match, so that was important. But yeah, call by, really, really good card. I only saw it 4 times during the entire tournament, but every time it was great, so I didn't wish it was something else. Extra deck actually didn't change that much. Still on double Serra. Almirage, you're playing this in case you don't see a starter, then you can normal summon a hand trap, make Almirage, go Parallel Exceed from that if you have it in your hand. The second reason, if you go Format Skipper and they negate it, you can make Almirage from it and then still search for Parallel Exceed. If you have an extender, at that point, you can just summon it, link the 2 away for like Moon of the Closed Heaven, and then you can still go on with your entire combo. Magical Musketeer Max, Requiem, Moon of the Closed Heaven. These are like all the things to start off my combo. IP Masquerena, this is the newest add to the deck. Because of the Lubellion, I actually often end up with 1 more monster than I usually ended up with. Also adding the Vesiculo over the Dionea just made sure that I can combo way more often without locking myself into insects, because I don't always have to grab Arachnocampa as an extender, which means that I got to go into Masquerena a lot. And going into Masquerena so my SP has more value was actually really important. And then the final link is Adipus. I cut my Access Code Talker. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it that much, and to be honest, I didn't need it at all, like not once, and I was really happy because I used all the cards in my extra deck like every match, which was actually crazy. So yeah, these are all the Link monsters. They're really fun. Definitely wouldn't change that up. For Exceeds, Pinguicula as your main starter because you're using your Format Skipper to get into this, to get to your Traptrix stuff. Rafflesia, Time Thief Redoer. I'm on Evolzar Lars with DDD Wave Hiking Caesar as my rank 6s, and the Necroquip Princess. Now I know that I can remove the Hiking Caesar and the Lars to go for Sequence and Desiree, but to be fair, the Desiree still doesn't stop Nibiru. And in scenarios where I need to go Wave Hiking Caesar first before I can do the rest of my combo, it's just way safer to play around Nibiru. So yeah, that's why it's in there. It's been really, really nice actually. And then for my side deck was actually decent. There was one card that I would change, and I will also like tell you guys. First things first, I'm on triple Perulia. I'm on triple Fualos. If you can't afford these, I mean, that just sucks. I can't do anything about that, I guess. But there are definitely ways to play more hand traps or to play other cards. But I just love these because they draw you so much, and it's crazy. I had one duel where I went Perulia. I had Perulia Fualos, so I go Perulia, guy gives me a draw, tries to use the original Snake Eyes, so I go Fualos, so I'm guaranteed a draw, and in total I drew like 12 cards that turn, but I also used like 6 hand traps, and the guy kept playing because he had all extenders, and I drew the hand traps at the wrong time as well, which was kind of funny, but I ended up with a 12 card hand when the game got to my turn, which was actually really, really cool. But yeah, I just love these. They are amazing. Drawing into hand traps, making sure that you can draw into your starter. And I cite this in on top of my other 18 hand traps. So I don't often remove hand traps going second. I'd rather remove the engine parts because you'll draw into other kind of engine because of these, and that's actually really good. Next, I was playing Triple Retaliating Sea. The card overperformed, but also underperformed at the same time. Because in the beginning of the tournament, I didn't misplay at all. I was going really well, and this card just overperformed. And then towards the end of the tournament, I was getting tired, I was getting a headache, stuff like that, and I threw my hand traps at wrong places, and the retaliating was just stuck in my hand a couple of times because of that. I don't know, like why why I was misplaying that much toward the end, but in general, I think this card is amazing in Traptrix because you also have 2 search targets from it. If this goes to the graveyard, there's Mantis and Arachnocampa that you can search, which is just amazing. You get additional value out of a hand trap, which is just good in this. Yeah, this card was actually, I think it's fine. I think it's really good. 2 Dominus Purge. I still don't like playing a third because it just clogs too much. I guess I could go with a third, but then I'd be playing so many hand traps. Oh my god. I think 2 is enough. I think 2 is fine. It doesn't have the power that Impulse has. Like if Impulse didn't lock me out of Earth and Light, like sure I'd play that, but sadly it doesn't. So yeah. And then for going first options, I was on Triple Solemn Judgment. I didn't see these all tournament. I went first post siding a couple of times. Like I think every round once, at the very least, and I never saw these. I used to run a Pot of Prosperity along these, just so I had one more shot at seeing a starter or the Judgment through the Prosperity. But I cut the card because I thought I would need an Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. And to be honest, I never summoned this card once. I sided in going second every time in order to try and break boards. Never came up. Yeah, just got this card again, put in the Prosperity on top of the Judgments, and then you have an additional card to side in going first. Which is actually way better because then you have 4 options that are really strong that get you to the cards you need. Yeah, I think that was the worst decision that I made for this tournament. But I mean, how many times would I see the Pot of Prosperity as well? I don't really know if it would change that much. But in general, play Prosperity on top of these, and it's fine. So yeah, that was the deck profile. I'm gonna do 3 combos starring the Format Skipper, just so you know why I was running this and to what extent I was hoping that the deck would actually go. So yeah, let's get into this combo. I'm hopefully gonna remember to put in the description like where each combo starts, and let's just get into it. The first combo you'll just open with Format Skipper. It's to showcase what this card on its own does, just so you know what we're building on. So yeah, first things first, normal summon the Format Skipper. This card's effect, when you can reveal a link monster in your extra deck, and then you copy the name, attribute, and typing specifically for the link summon. So you're going to use the effect, and you're going to reveal Magical Musketeer Max. Now this is a level, the level doesn't change, so it's still a level 1 Magical Musketeer, so you can link it off. Let's see if everything's in frame. You can link this off, like this, for the Magical Musketeer. Now, Format Skipper is going to trigger Engrave, because you're using it for a link summon, and you can search for Parallel Exceed. Now, at this point, this is a Light Fiend, link it off, you go into Requiem, and you're going to use Parallel Exceed's effect to summon it. Parallel Exceed's effect, summon a second one from the deck, now what I like to do here, because you're already playing into Nibiru, this is summon number 5. Most of the time, the opponent actually doesn't let you play on. So here you're already knowing that they do not have Nibiru. So what I like to do is go Requiem first, just to lure out any other hand traps maybe, or just so I know what's going on. And I go into Engraver first. Use the Requiem, attach it, and you're making a Necroquip Princess. Now, another thing why this is good, if you overlay your Paralytic Seeds now, if they have a hand trap, you actually get to draw from the Necroquip Princess. So, yeah. Overlay these into Pinguicula. And now you're going to use its effect. And you're going to search for Arachnocampa. Now this is just a basic combo. Depending on the cards in your hand, you actually have a lot that you can do. Okay, now that the Pinguicula has resolved, we don't want to risk the other cards in our extra deck or in our hands to be hit by a Nibiru. So what we're going to do first is we're going to use the Engraver by putting back the Requiem. And now we will make our Caesar. This way, the rest of your plays are actually more safe and you can actually go from there. Link away the Pinguicula for a Serra. Use Arachnocampa and use Serra to set a card from that. You can choose, you can set the Gravedigger Trap Hole or the Holothea. It doesn't really matter because this is also like where the combo ends. It's only a 1-card combo. You still have 4 others in your hand. Preferably a lot of hand traps, but we don't really have control over that, I guess. But it's a simple 1-card combo where you end on 2 summon negates. They cannot destroy whichever one you set face down. But what I like to do is, in some matchups, like because you have more cards, you set the Gravedigger Trap Hole a lot. That way, if they use a hand or grave effect, you can Gravediggers and then you can still Serra, so you have 1 additional interruption, basically, because you can summon Mermelio or Pudica from the deck, and then you can still use Serra to set Holothea. But in general, this is a fine board for a 1-card combo in Traptrix. Now, let me take these back into the deck, and then we'll go into our second combo. This one is also really simple. We're just going to extend on the Format Skipper by having Abyssal Lubellion now. So let's get into this. I'm gonna try and see if I can get this to move up a bit. Okay, this is the farthest I can go for now. Let's just do it like this. So first things first, normal summon the Format Skipper again. You'll do the same thing. So you're going to call Magical Musketeer Max. You're going to summon it. Let's see if it's a bit in frame, I guess. Send away the Skipper effect, and you'll search for Parallel Exceed. Get into Requiem. Like the first bit is like always the same. Parallel Exceed effect, summon it, using the effect. There we go. Using Requiem, and we're gonna go into our Engraver. Requiem effect, make Necroquip, and then right here, because we have Lubellion, it's actually more worth to trigger our Princess first, so we can know what to search from our Pinguicula. So we use Lubellion, and we're going to search for our Magnamut. This will trigger the Necroquip Princess, and we're getting a draw. Now for like testing purposes, I'm just gonna draw like into a hand trap, and we're going to draw a Ghost Ogre. It doesn't matter what it is. So this is 1 blank that we draw because of the Lubellion. Right here, we can actually go into Pinguicula still. Try to use the cards on your field first before going into the Engraver, because that would just net you an additional minus if they nip you. Pinguicula effect, we are still, like, this combo doesn't change a lot. We're still gonna go still with Arachnocampa. Now we're going to use the Engraver, put back the Requiem, We're going to overlay into Caesar. Now we're still going to go into Caesar, of course. We just want to keep the rest of our plays safe. Right here we can use our Magnamut. So we're going to banish the format skipper. Use the Magnamut's effect to search in the end phase. Now we are going to tribute the Magnamut for our Bestial Lubellion, in defense preferably. Use the effect to activate Branded Regained. Where is the card? Oh. So activate Branded Regained. Let's see if we can see it on... Yeah. And now that we have this, we can still go with our Traptrix combo. Make Sera. Use Arachnocampa. Special it. Use Sera effect and set our Gravedigger Trap Hole. And then in the end phase, we get another search. And we can search for our Baldrake. So in this combo, you end it with another Baldrake on top of a draw. We don't know what the draw is, of course. But this, like in a deck with 18 hand traps, this could very well be any one of them. Regained will attempt to summon the Magnamut back during the next turn. And you have Baldrake with the Lubellion already for another banish and banish on field when they try to summon. So that's actually really, really fine to do. And then I'm going to show you guys the final combo, and this one is just fun. For this one, the reason I'm doing it like this, you're not going to do this combo a lot, of course, but the combo has a lot of variations because you can go with 1-for-1, you can have any two thing, like as long as you get to the garden with like Pudica, maybe have a Mermelio or a Mantis, you can do Traptrix combo first, stuff like that. But this is the 3-card combo that I want to show you guys. So first things first, same things as before, Skipper, go into our Magical Musketeer Max, use the Skipper effect. So add Parallel Exceed, go into Requiem, trigger Parallel, special, use the effect, like this. Use the Requiem again, summon Fiendsmith Engraver, using the Requiem's effect, attach, and then we're gonna go into Necroquip. Like once again, this is just extending, this is all the same. Use the Lubellion. We're gonna go into Magnamut again. Which means you get a draw from the Necroquip. Now, again, just for consistency purposes, we're gonna draw Ghost Over. It doesn't matter which one it is. Right now, overlay the parallels, go into Pinguicola, and use Pinguicola's effects. This time, because we still have the field spell, we are actually going to search for Traptrix Mermelio, if I ever find it. Okay, so Mermelio. Now, what you can also do is you can search for Mantis, and then the Mantis will search the Vesiculo. But that way you won't end up having the Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So yeah. You'll get another body, so you can do other things, but it's a slight variation from this, so it doesn't really matter. Now that we're here again, Engraver by returning the Requiem, and use these two to go into Caesar. Now, if you want to be ballsy, if you really want it, you can just ignore the Caesar and go for Lars. Like if you know you're playing against Tempai, they don't have the hand traps that you think are going to impact, and you just want to negate for Raigeki, Darkhole evenly against other decks, like stuff like that, you can just summon Lars here. Right now, this is already really great. We have the negate for the Nibiru setup, so we can go all in. Go with Serra. Is it even? It's so hard knowing if it's in frame. Garden, so I'll put the garden like this that you can see it. Additional normal summon the Myrmelio, use the effect. You're going to search for Gravedigger's Trap Hole, and then the Serra is going to set Holotea. Use Holotea by ditching the Gravediggers again. You get to summon it, and then with Serra we are going to summon Vesiculo. Now you think, okay, what are we going to do from now? Well, pretty simple. Vesiculo, we want it in the graveyard. As simple as, that's just as simple as we can make it. So we are actually going to go and we are going to summon IP Masquerena. What I like to do is use the Vesiculo and the Myrmelio, so they are both in grave. Summon the Masquerena under the Serra. Use the Magnamut. Banish once more the Format Skipper. Trigger Magnamut. Don't forget to use Vesiculo, so you can banish it to reset the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, so we have that on our field. Right here, use Lubellion by tributing the Magnamut, and you get to special summon it. Use the Bestial Lubellion, and we're going to reset our branded Regained. Now, how can we go even further? It's actually really easy. Use the Garden by banishing the Lubellion and summoning back the Myrmelio from the graveyard. At this point, Myrmelio is chain link 1 because it's mandatory, and your branded Regain is going to trigger because you banished the Bestial Lubellion. So you can put it back to the bottom and draw another card. Of course, let's say for purposes again, draw a hand trap. We draw Mourner. It's really fun. And now you can still use these two to go into a Time Thief Redoer. I like to put this one in defense. So like this. And at this point, the field is actually done. Magnamut in the end phase is still going to search for our Bestial. And we have a really nice setup for this. We have Serra, we have Masquerena. The Serra cannot be destroyed by battle once. We have a Redoer, we have Caesar, we have Gravedigger's Trap Hole set up, and we have Regained, which I've already explained is going to bring back the Magnamut. It's going to get us another draw, and we have the Baldrake as well. So we can go like this, tribute this again, and then banish something else. You draw 2 cards for the 3 that you've used, so you're still having a 4-card hand at this point. Masquerena is going to go into SP Little Knight, so you don't even need to use the Baldrake on a to trigger Regained. Like if you go Masquerena, banish something with the SP Little Knight, you still get a banish. The secondary banish is even better because if you use the secondary banish on another dark or light from the opponent and you get that and you put that back with Regained, they won't get the card back. So there's a lot of things that you can do. And this field is basically why I wanted to use this deck right now with the Lubellions, with the Bestials. You just get so many draws, you get so much recursion, and then every turn it just piles up, and the Serra just, even with only 5 targets in the deck, it just doesn't run out, which is actually nice. Remember, you also get to detach Holotea and the Myrmelio, so you have a spell Trap Pop as well on top of it, which they cannot even banish at the moment. And when you use the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, you still have the Pudica in your deck. So that's actually nice as well. This is basically, yeah, the 3-card combo, and there are a lot of variations on this inside of the deck. Try it out and see for yourself, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do some more videos soon, now that the deck is revealed. So yeah, definitely hit me up if you have any questions. See you guys in the next one. Ciao.